What's up, sports bettors? I have 5 player prop picks. So we're going to be looking at DFS picks, so player props on PrizePicks, Underdog Fantasy for the NFL, MLB, and also NHL now. So we have picks from every major sport going on right now. I think you're really going to like them. And it's been a little slower on PrizePicks. We've had this live stream cash, but nothing kind of like sports betting where we're basically, if you've been following along with our profit and loss of all our picks or our live streams, we've absolutely been crushing it. We had Potapova money line, tennis, 3.5K to win 7K. We've been crushing it. But regardless, we're going to pick it up on the fantasy sites, and let's go through it. So the first pick I have, and again, it's free to browse odds on OddsJam. Sharp sports betting is all about finding value, right? If you want to place some crazy 50-leg parlay on FanDuel, 10 cents to win $1 million, you go ahead, you do that. That's not what this channel is about, right? This channel is really about how to make money sports betting. Quite simply, how to make money sports betting, how to get an edge over the sports books, find value, and win in the long run. So the goal is obviously to give you profitable picks. If you would have tailed all of the bets we're giving out on live stream, you could have tailed them in real time, you'd be up money. But the point is also to kind of teach you how to think about sports betting, how to find value. So the first play I found is David Montgomery under 2.5 receptions. So why do we like it? Look at this. Every sportsbook is pricing this minus 159, minus 175. Every bookmaker has the under heavily juiced, right? But you can get it on Underdog Fantasy. So you can get it in a 3-pick entry at minus 122 or in a 2-pick entry at minus 137. So if this is confusing to you, I recommend you kind of watch we have a bunch of tutorial videos kind of about Underdog Fantasy, the math behind PrizePicks, Underdog Fantasy, how do these platforms even work? But basically, long story short, and this is another way you can, browse odds, kind of look for line discrepancies, look for value on OddsJam. But the way you can think about it is on Underdog Fantasy, right? For any 3-pick entry, we always see 100 to win 600, right? So it's $100 total payout, $600. So what you'll notice is that will be, any 3 picks on Underdog. You take the overs, the unders, whatever 3 picks you select, it's always 100 to win 600, right? So essentially, they're giving you the implied price, implied juice of minus 122. Underdog makes its money by juicing their markets to minus 122 for every pick and then forcing you to bet parlays. So for a 3-pick parlay, you're getting 100 to win 600, so the odds on all your picks are minus 122. Now for a 2-pick on Underdog, it's 100 to win 300. So you're getting worse odds, which is why you'll notice we're never placing 2-pick entries on Underdog. These are horrible. You always want to find 3 picks. So anyways, the first play I love is David Montgomery under 2.5 receptions. Obviously, don't play this in a 2-pick. Find a 3rd pick. You want to go with 3 picks on Underdog Fantasy. Tons of videos we have breaking down the math and why that is the case. It's just true. You should never be playing a 2-pick or a 4-pick entry on Underdog. So at minus 122 odds, this play is ridiculous. I mean, first of all, PrizePicks has his line at 2. So PrizePicks is a full half a reception lower. And David Montgomery, he's not getting 10 receptions. He's getting like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. That's like 90% of his distribution, 95%. So that half-point jump is actually pretty massive in terms of the odds, right? On PrizePicks, if we took under 2 and he had, let's say, 2 receptions, we're pushing as opposed to cashing on Underdog Fantasy. We would cash if he had exactly 2 receptions on Underdog. We would push on PrizePicks, right? So, definitely if you want to take Montgomery, you shouldn't be taking him on PrizePicks. But also, you can see all the sports books, they have the under heavily juiced, right? DraftKings minus 155. I mean, you have 1, 2, like every sports book in the market, you should be treating as an independent data point of where the line should be set, right? So you don't even have to know anything about football. This is just like basic math and logic, right? When you're looking at the odds and every sportsbook is pricing something minus 159, minus 150, they all have the under heavily juiced. and you're getting it minus 122 in your underdog entry, that's an absolute slam. You know, you can see Resorts World has this minus 170. PointsBet has this minus 170. Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker, the most efficient betting market, they're pricing this at minus 155. And there's not much disagreement between the sports books, right? Every bookmaker has the under as a heavy favorite. So sportsbooks imply win probabilities, obviously through their odds, you know, based on their models, all the action they're seeing in markets. You know, Pinnacle is the most efficient betting market. They have millions of dollars bet, you know, on the NFL. So this is like a super sharp market. And they're pricing this at minus 155. So we're following the data, we're following the value, because value is what makes money. Value beats the VIG. It's not finger to the wind, BS sports betting. You know, David Montgomery coming off the bus looked hurt. No, this is pure. We want to beat the VIG. We want to get an edge. So we're finding bets with mathematical value. You know, when every sportsbook is pricing something minus 155-ish to minus 170 and you're getting it minus 122, that is a bet you want to hammer. That's the first pick we're on. Boom. It's a positive EV play, right? So it's free to browse odds on OddsJam. Your goal, hunt for value on Underdog Fantasy. Whatever tool you're using, right? If you're using, you know, kind of any of the typical ways we kind of present odds where you can just click into a specific game and then you can switch around markets, or you're looking at the screen where you can also switch around markets. You know, maybe you want to look at passing yards and you want to look for discrepancies between, you know, certain sports books and Underdog Fantasy. You can do that. You can do that for free. Hey, take a look at this. Tom Brady, just out of nowhere, his passing yards line is 285.5 on Underdog. Fascinating. Tom Brady, his passing yards line is 285.5 on Underdog. Every other bookmaker has him 274.5. So Underdog is just casually 11 yards off the entire market. So if anything, we want to hammer that under. We want to hammer that under on Underdog Fantasy. Right? Literally every sportsbook has him 274.5. We can get under 285.5. So that seems like a decent play, right? Clearly the value's on the under. You could middle this too. You could, you know, throw a little hedge on DraftKings on the over. If he has 280 passing yards, you cash the over, you cash the under on Underdog, right? That's a big difference, 274.5 to 2. Anyways, let's go back to the bet before I get distracted. So next play we have is right here, hockey shots on goal. Same strategy, right? Don't overcomplicate it. Hunt for value, beat the VIG. You know, here every sportsbook, Pinnacle Sportsbook, sharpest bookmaker in the world, they have this minus 152. You know, we're getting it minus 122. Bet Online, another super sharp sportsbook, has this minus 141. Eat it up, right? That's a bet you want to be all over. So you can also use kind of a no-vig odds calculator to get a sense. So when Pinnacle, when they have their market juiced all the way up to minus 152, and they have the under at plus 114, so we have this guy's shots on goal over 2.5. No, I can't pronounce his name. Literally following the math because that's what makes money. And we're up, you know, from our full-length YouTube, we're up 21K. From live streams, we're up 6.5K. So feel free to join the live streams, tail my bets in real time. We'll all make money together. There's been some good engagement on it recently. But regardless, it's like here, it's like, okay, like over 2.5 goals. Every bookmaker, you know, Pinnacle has this minus 152. Every bookmaker has the over juiced. So the over is a lot more likely to hit. And you can quantify that mathematically. That's called a no-vig odds calculator. No-vig odds calculator. It's really critical, you know, because what this calculator does is it takes the sportsbook's market, removes the juice to tell you the true odds with the juice removed, and also tells you the win probability for your bet, right? So obviously, as an example, if both bets are minus 110, if the over and under are both minus 110, the sportsbook is essentially implying they're both equally likely to hit, both the over and the under, right? But if the sportsbook says, okay, it's minus 500 odds, you have to bet 500 to win back 100 on the over, and the under is, let's say, plus 400, bet 100 to win 400 in profit, obviously the sportsbook thinks the over is a lot more likely to hit, 80%, right? Now if it's minus 200, you know, plus 150, 62.5%. So sportsbooks imply win probabilities through their odds, right? Really important. So here, you know, this is a great bet. And you'll notice on the EV page, the no-vig odds, you're always getting better on Underdog or PrizePicks, right? So here the no-vig line is minus 134. That's the true odds with the juice removed, right? You remove the juice, you take the midpoint of these sportsbook markets, the true odds of the entire market, you remove the juice, you weight the sharpest sportsbooks the most, is minus 134. Just data-oriented sports betting. We're getting 12 cents of improvement. So we're getting better odds than the true odds. It's kind of like if you knew a stock was worth $500 and you could buy it for $400. It's a good deal, right? So this is the true price, and this is what we're buying it for. This is what we're getting, and we're getting it for lower. And then the final play I have on Underdog is going to be Luis Castillo under 5.5 strikeouts. Then I have two plays on PrizePicks, 2 total bases plays you can play for tonight. So you can see this parlay on DraftKings would only come out 125 to win 623. That would be the payout. Over 2.5 shots on goal, under 2.5 receptions, under 5.5 strikeouts, 125 to win 623. We are getting this. 125 to win 750. Let's go. So what we can do is finally, we can refresh, see if there's anything else out there we like. Maybe that Tom Brady play, right? That Tom Brady play didn't seem particularly bad. So if we can find some stuff to pair with it, maybe that's something we want to dabble with. So we can, change our state around, try to find something else. And if not, we can call it a day. And I think we'll just call it a day. So appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys are able to get this bet down. Let's make some money.